Fuck yeah. Woo. Got the Wi-Fi all set. We're 2 minutes late, but that's all good. Been watching football. We got the finale of the Wonderland murders. It's a good day today. And I hope you guys are having a good day too. AC/DC reporting for duty. Ruthie. I appreciate you asking. I've been busy lately, to be honest with you. So, I'm going to try and stream a little more than I am. But like tonight, I feel passionate about at least what we'll start talking about, which is the Mr. McMahon documentary. Now, this might be a record, 1:30 and Queenon is not fucking around. I've gotten so many super chats from you guys over the last 6 months that I've worn off Steve Stevens' autograph on this thing. Who is cooler, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, or Miami Vice's Don Johnson? Queenon, $4.99. It barely lights up anymore. That's a tough one. I think I'll go with William Zoom. I mean, Magnum TI, the Ferrari, the stash was very cool. But I wouldn't say that Magnum PI was a cultural icon. He was close. But, I mean, Miami Vice changed the way TV shows were made. Back then you had a TV show like, say, Lois chiming in. You had a TV show like Hill Street Blues, which was just a straight episodic drama, not a lot of flash or dash. And then, I mean, Magnum PI, maybe you might say, was one of the first TV shows to throw in a little humor. But Miami Vice was literally like every episode was like a music video, an hour-long music video. So I got to go with Don Johnson. By the way, I started his new TV show on ABC, Dr. Odyssey, last night. The first few minutes are a little rough, but I'm going to watch it later tonight. I've been busy watching the McMahon documentary. By the way, I'd like to give a special shout out to William Zoom for sending me a birthday super chat. That's right. He sent me a birthday super chat. I probably should have my home address more harder to find, but I figure if you work hard enough, you can send me. I always tell people to send me stuff at the Comedy Store, but it seems that AC/DC's shirt has been stolen. So maybe you shouldn't send me stuff at the Comedy Store, but in my heart of hearts, I don't believe anyone would steal something from me, because I looked at the bin where comics mail is, and it's full. So I don't know why they would pick my one item to steal, but it is comedy. So there you go. Dr. Nova. So thank you, William Zoom. McMahon review, too long. Great footage composed mostly of info no one is interested in. The info people want ants about the lawsuit was like 15 minutes in the last episode. Well, I'll say this in defense of them, that they had stopped filming the documentary and were already editing the final episode. So I understand they kind of had to shoehorn that. Now, I also understand you could have delayed the documentary by a month, interviewed Janelle Grant for her side of the story. So, I mean, I thought it was too long. I mean, overall, I give it a B. I thought it was shot very well. I thought the footage was cool to see, but it was nothing I hadn't heard before. Like, how many times you're going to go over the Montreal screw job? Um, how many times you gonna go over, the story of how Vince built the WWF at the time, um, so if I liken it to, it's a lot like um, the Iron Claw movie, where if you don't know the story and you just, you're new to wrestling and well, let's watch Mr. McMahon, and oh wow, I didn't know about the Montreal screw job. That's a dastardly thing for him to do, and I didn't know about Hulk Hogan being stolen from Vern Gagne and whatnot. But I've been a part of putting documentaries together, and I will say this: um, the most important thing about any documentary is the footage, the video footage. Um, so I'm sure. I have no proof of this, but I'm sure the WWE was like, "You want the video footage? That story's taken out. You want the video footage for this match? You're not going to talk about Macho Man and Stephanie. That's taken out." And I'm sure there was some negotiation of, well, we have to talk about Pat Patterson and Mel Phillips. Well, not for long, or all the footage gets pulled. And I didn't think, to be honest with you, that Netflix was the best um, network to do this, because Monday Night Raw is going to Netflix. So they're not going to do a full fucking tell-all on Vince McMahon. And then, oh, hey, next week tune into Monday Night Raw. Because if they did a full tell-all on Vince McMahon, and keep in mind, I don't want a one-sided slam piece on him either. Um, but like when I saw an interview with Bruce Pritchard, and he said, I think it was maybe in episode 6, and he said the episodes that he had already seen was one-sided against Vince. We must have seen 2 different episodes, because if you really watch the 6 hours, it's probably 65 to 70% Vince coming off as this woe is me, slightly flawed character. Um, I didn't know that about Magnum PI. I don't remember much about the final seasons of Magnum PI. I think I had already checked out and gone to Miami Vice. Yeah, I mean, Night Moves was Pat Patterson, Mel Phillips, who was the black, basically before Howard Finkel, the ring announcer. I mean, I heard the Wendy Richter. Is it true I banged Wendy Richter? I banged a girl named Wendy, but not Wendy Richter. I love Dan Tana. The Road Rager. I'm a big, Vegas is a show that doesn't get talked about a lot. And Michael Mann created it. I had no idea. I didn't really put that together as a kid. And by the way, before I forget, before we get too into the weeds on Mr. McMahon and whatnot, I'm actually sad today. 2 people died today, or yesterday maybe. Sergeant Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop, the great John Aston, and Chris Christopherson. So Chris Christopherson was like, I don't know why I like the movie Convoy so much. I was 10 years old and I just remember it being on TV constantly. And uh, to me, that's the ultimate man right there, Chris Christopherson in Convoy. So thank you, Mr. Aston, for your acting work. And thank you to Chris Christopherson for your acting and music. One of the great, I kind of forget, he's like, uh, incredibly accomplished songwriter and guitar player. I mean, am I saying he's Van Halen? No, but like for that style of music, a great, um, it's a great loss to American entertainment. That's for sure. Um, Earl, they tried to buy it back at the last minute, Vince and Ari, so they didn't like it at the network. I have met Stephanie McMahon. Earl didn't like the McMahon show because it reminded me of some 90s experience. But I mean, William, if you look at like if you don't know anything about Vince McMahon, you don't know about all the scandals. And I've known guys who've wrestled and girls, but more guys. And they all say the same thing. So it's like this is not the Vince McMahon I know of. So yeah, I mean, it was shot before the Janelle Grant stuff came out, and they gave it a little mention toward the end. But you could have interviewed Janelle Grant. You think they're going to do that with Monday Night Raw coming down the pike? And you could totally tell. Two funny things to me about this documentary. Earl, would I bang Wendy Richter today? I don't know about that. I mean, I'm 56. I'm still pretty horny, but you'd have to tell me a sitcom was at the other end of that one. Vegas was the shit. Yeah, John Ashton died, I believe, either today or yesterday. I know Chris Christopherson died today, but the news is did James Darren from TJ Hooker die today too? Jesus. Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot about Chris Christopherson's music stuff, but um, oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if you look at the two biggest stooges were Bruce Pritchard and Paul Heyman, just sucking Vince's weenie hard on this. And I get it. He cuts your check. I get it. But the two funniest things to me about this were when they asked at the end, if someone said to me, Earl, I can only watch 5 minutes of this documentary, um, you pick the 5 minutes I watch. It's the last 5 minutes where they ask all the people on their WWE contract and Legends contracts uh, what Vince McMahon's legacy is, and they're stuttering more than Mel Tillis in the '70s. You could tell in their brains, it's like, all right, don't say anything; they'll get my contract canned. And John Cena, what a pussy, man. I'm not the right guy to ask that question. You're the perfect guy to ask the question. You're the last star he created, of that era, of the Attitude Era. I mean, Hogan, no, John Ashton, not Sean Astin. Hogan, typical, he's on the fucking payroll and, the Legends contract and, um, I thought the person who came off the best was Shane McMahon. I mean, Shane came off like just the son who wanted approval from his father, and Shane came off very likable. And it kind of makes me feel the rumors of him going to AEW are true because I don't know, man. You got the vibe that him and Stephanie don't see eye to eye on their dad, and I'm sure you just got a vibe that him and Triple H don't really hang much. And I could think of nothing better for Shane to be like, "Hey, fuck you. I'm gonna build AEW and to whatever." I mean, Atlas, but you could even tell Atlas was kind of like, I mean, he was the most forthcoming, but you know, I don't know. I mean, this is gonna sound crazy. I thought Meltzer was the most He was the best interview. Like, he kept it real. So, um, but he didn't go too hard either, really. So, and once again, I'm not saying I want a total slam piece on the WWE or Vince. Get his story out, but get Janelle Grant's story out. Get Ashley Macero's story out. Um, I'm not saying they should make a whole episode on Ashley, but all the shit Vince did to her. You don't think that has something to do with her killing herself? You know, so that's why when Bruce Pritchard's like, I thought it was incredibly one-sided. I'm like, man, I thought the polar opposite. Vince literally probably spoke 65 to 70%. They let him get out his narrative. But the only critique I have of the documentary overall is I wish I could have heard the interviewer's voice, because probably my favorite line of questioning was when, for whatever reason, in this segment, they played the interviewer's voice where he's talking about, Vince is talking about how the WWF was built. And then he starts whining about Bischoff stealing all his talent. And you heard the interviewer go, but that's how you built the company. He stole Hogan from Vern Gagne, stole Junkyard Dog from Mid-South, stole Kamala and Warrior when they were in World Class Championship Wrestling. I think Scott Hall when what was he, the Diamond Stud in World Class, and Vinny Vega, Kevin Nash. And interesting how some of the people who weren't interviewed, like, which makes me believe the WWE had a heavy hand in who got picked. No Kevin Nash, even if just not for the Monday Night War segment. How do you not have Kevin Nash? How do you not have Ric Flair? How do you not have Sting? Sting, was could have been talked about why he never went to WWE and why he finally did, and you know some of these. I think the Undertaker's interview was from 2021, so why not interview Sid? I mean, Sid, I think, was the only one who was WCW and WWF champ twice. He would have been interesting because his shoot interviews, he keeps it real. But why not have Shane Douglas? Like, get some guys who are going to give you an opposing view of Vince McMahon and not just his kids who, I mean, you could tell there were some definite baggage with Shane and Vince. And, for the most part, Shane kept it pretty, yeah, why not have Luger? Um, so, I guarantee you, I mean, he did bury Luger, but, Luger was his choice. And you can't tell me Luger wouldn't have been good to interview. One, because not only was he the guy picked after Warrior kind of flopped out, but he was the guy Vince picked to become the World Bodybuilding Federation, the lead. Oh, well, let's not interview Lex now because he's in a wheelchair and he doesn't look the greatest. Come on, man. I thought Bret Hart was pretty good. I mean, but he's under a Legends contract, I'm assuming. So, they killed his fucking brother, man. Like, but that's what those Legends contracts mean, man. They vaguely, they glossed over a lot of stuff, though. I mean, they glossed over Mel Phillips and Pat Patterson. They glossed over Snuka. And once again, I'm not saying I want a whole episode on Jimmy Snuka, but our Bruiser Brody's alleged killer in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, what? They didn't interview Jesse Ventura. Especially on that, even on the one segment about the union and Hogan ratting him out. You wouldn't tell me that would be an interesting interview. So. I mean, yeah, but Luger does, listen, Luger doesn't have the greatest fucking vibe, but, still, he was an instrumental part of the 90s WWE, WWF, and especially just for the world bodybuilding federation, there was a major story. So, and the Undertaker's not going to say anything bad. No Kurt Angle. Like, you know, I thought Bischoff came off good. Um, yeah, you're probably right on that, Queen on. I don't know. I believe. Well, I want to say alleged because no one was ever charged really with the murder. So, um, but I mean, just like Booker T is a great guy. His podcast is very good. He does with some white dude. He had a very great tribute with Sid, but if I'm running the Booker T interview, I'm like, "Hey, man, how did you feel in that one segment when Vince McMahon walks in and calls John Cena the N word, and then the camera pans over to you?" I mean, that was a clear vignette segment, whatever you want to call it, to embarrass Booker T. That's Vince McMahon saying, "I'm going to say the N word on television, and you're going to be the stooge of the segment." Fuck that. So, I would have asked him that question. I mean, Earl, tell the grandma you're banging to stop coughing. That's Lois, Staggy. How dare you take that back, Staggy, or I'll stop this stream right now. I don't give a fuck. I've already made $5 on this stream. Kiss my ass. The music says it all. Money, money. So no, I'm just kidding around. I'm just kidding around. There's one word that can no longer be said in this stream, and I think you guys know what it is. I'm just kidding, Staggy. We just went on a long walk, so she got a little drive-in dust. Um, yeah, I mean, Ahmed Johnson would have been good. I mean, Shane Douglas is a great interview. If you listen to his shoot videos with that British guy, um, no, that is not it. That is not it. Um, he would have given an honest, like there's virtually no pushback on what a scumbag Vince is. Um, I mean, you could tell. I'll assume Wendy Richter's on a Legends contract, so she's not going to say anything bad. Who else could you have had to give an opposing viewpoint of, I mean, well, definitely Flair. I mean, Flair's one of the few guys who probably makes enough money where he doesn't necessarily need a Legends contract. Daddy Man, when's the special being released? We're still looking for a proper location. I mean, shooting the special will be the easiest part. I did an hour last night at the Comedy Store. I felt like 20 minutes. So, but I got to pay my buddy Bruce Gray, a very funny comic, to clip it. But I have a new extended set at the Comedy Store that, that you can't release the whole thing, but you have to chop it up. I don't know why, but ain't my rules. No, Viper Room's not a good place because it's got a lot of poles in the room, so it would not look good from a. There's a lot of obstructed views. See, that's how I care about the fans. I probably could do it at the Viper Room. They're going out of business because they're tearing it down. So they're probably pretty open to, like, we want anything here that'll get bar sales. Looking good, Dutch. Now tell me what we got to do. Who would you rather bone, Mae Young or Fat? Oh, boy. I mean, probably Fabulous Moolah. She looked like she had bigger tits. Penguin actor's last name. Farrell? No. I think you guys know. You have to super chat me if you want me to say his name. You could put it in chat, but I won't. I won't. We don't dabble in here. I'm putting a. Sonny would have been great. I'm assuming she's not under a Legends contract, but she's also a little busy right now. I mean, but I just did a charity event for the Vagos Motorcycle Club, and it's horrible for the audience in terms. There's like 3 or 4, not poles, but stanchions in the middle of the room, so from a camera perspective, it would not be good. Sunny would have been great. I never even thought about that. Um, Weird that Brock Lesnar didn't do it. Like, um, who else? Trying to think. Where the JBL? He's a big stooge for Vince. Where that he wasn't in it. Um, I loosely knew the Menendez brothers, the Bel Air and Beverly Hills kids. We all kind of went to the same places. Um, but well, they glossed over the ring boy, Mel Phillips and Pat Patterson. I mean, they spoke about it. Yeah, Queen on, you're out of control. I appreciate the money. This is how bad I am with money. I'm like saying you don't have to super chat me, but I appreciate it, Queen on. $1.99. Your second super chat of the evening. Were you friends with Eric and Lyle Menendez? I wouldn't say we were friends, but if we saw each other, if we saw each other on the street, we'd be like, "What's up?" I used to play ball hockey on Saturday mornings at Elm Street Elementary. As you know, they lived on Elm Street, and I think Elm Street Elementary. It's just below Wilshire. They were just below Sunset, so I would walk home from there. So, I'd see them, "Hey, what's up, man?" I mean, we all went to the same clubs, the same gyms, the same restaurants, Kookaroo on Beverly Drive, uh, Cheesecake Factory, I think it's on Beverly or Rodeo Drive, California Pizza Kitchen, like I said, the Bel Air and Beverly Hills kids, we all intermingled a fair amount. Um, yes, we don't sour milk. We don't say that name in here. If you want me to say it, you have to super chat. I've got to like lay down the rules. 7, 8 months into um, uh, being monetized on YouTube, I finally figured out that I got to lay some ground rules on. We're having a nice, friendly, so far half-hour discussion about the Vince McMahon documentary, the Menendez documentary. We can talk about that. I'm struggling finishing that because I, they're really, it's Ryan Murphy. So he's really trying to shoehorn the Piazza element into it. And like I said, I wasn't friends with those guys, just like I wasn't friends with Joe Hunt, the Billionaire Boys Club guy, but I knew him. Speaking of which, the other night I'm walking my dog, and I have some friends who own a tattoo shop on Sunset, and they're open till like 3 or 4 in the morning. If someone walks in at 3 in the morning and says, "I want a tattoo," they'll stay open. And I see about 5 or 6 of my friends outside the tattoo shop. I walk over; it's right across from the Viper Room, and I got to meet Judd Nelson. Very, very nice guy. And I don't get starstruck, but it's like, fuck, man, this is the guy from the Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire. He also played Joe Hunt in the Billionaire Boys Club, the TV movie. House of Pies. Well, I started going to House of Pies when I was doing comedy, but I wouldn't say Bel Air and Beverly Hills Kids went there because it's on, I think, Vermont. So, yeah, I mean, Jim Ross would have been good, Yeah, all right, we've covered that, Ryan. Yeah, but respect to one of the great entertainers of this generation and other generations. Chris Christopherson wasn't just an actor; he's a songwriter, guitar player. I know. I met John Bender, man, and he was totally nice. New Jack City. I mean, I'm talking to him, and it's funny. Lois was having a severe coughing attack, and he's like, "Is your dog okay, bro?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. She must be nervous." Um, No, no, that's all good. I mean, I was a big, big, big fan of Chris Christopherson. Yeah, I mean, that would be kind of see, I would do something like that. But I hear through the grapevine that the woman who lives there is a renter. So that would be fucking crazy. Earl live at the Wonderland Murder House. That'd be fucking nuts. You know how many people would go to that too? Like if we had the special in the living room where the people were butchered to death. Dude, that's a great idea. Uh, but I hear that lady's pretty hardcore. Like she's taking the address off the building so people can't recognize the building. But the building is virtually unchanged from the murders. Like it looks the same. So what if I did it at Eddie Nash's house? But that is see, that's something that I'm looking at doing. Like Earl live at a Wonderland Murder House. That's a great idea. Um, so I don't know if I could ever live there though. I couldn't sleep at night. Uh, but I get it, William. You know, like, see, we all see it as, oh, that's just one person in like in a YouTube video or something. But can you imagine every day she must get someone driving by? I mean, hell, I drove by the house the other night with my friend from Alabama. Um, and now she was probably sleeping at the time because I think all the lights were off. But can you imagine every fucking day someone's driving by your house, doing a video or, um, you know, standing outside taking a picture or whatever? I get it. Um, yes, we did mention Detective Taggart and the dad in one of my probably my favorite John Hughes movie, Some Kind of Wonderful. Um, so do you think they could have got off if they didn't spend all the parents' money? Well, they weren't the best at covering their tracks, and they definitely they didn't act sad. I mean, when you're going to um, the Rolex store in Beverly Hills and buying like 3 watches each. Like when my parents died 2 months apart, I wasn't going on spending sprees. Do I believe Jose Menendez was mean? I don't know, to be honest with you. I never met him. Um, yeah, I mean, you might say, William, well, she knew the house she was getting into. Like if I lived there, I would get it. I'd probably be pretty cool, but then after 2 years, you're probably sick of it. I don't know how long she's lived there, but I like the Brady Bunch house and Coach Reeves' apartment in the White Shadow. He took down some whores in that thing. Um, so yeah, I mean, I could probably get like David Arquette to say something in the beginning of the special. Someone said to me after we reviewed the XPW footage of me in the actual ring, do it from a ring. Listen, everything's on the table. But I want it to be special, or I just don't wanna do one. Like, I have a couple friends of mine who are putting out specials right now, and it's just like, just in a theater, it just looks the same. I don't know where the breaking I've never watched, um, one episode of Breaking Bad. Bootsy Bellows, that's an option. Live at Bootsy Bellows. That could be something I could look into, and David would probably let me have it for free. Um, and if he was ever in town, if he brought me to the stage, that's something where like you're watching the specials. Is that David Arquette bringing up this guy we've never heard of before? And then you stay for the jokes, hopefully. Do it live from Mitzi's office. It's way too small. Um, but that yeah, I mean, that would be a very small special. Earl live at the Menendez house. Yeah, you guys are stirring my creative uses. Um, you know, uh, live at the Manson Ranch, Ireland 32s. I will not be doing the special there. Um, And there's some LA comedy drama I would get into, but no one in here really probably follows the LA scene other than Dr. Nova and Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Um, Earl live at the Playboy Mansion, but I think they're really tearing that shit down. But that's kind of in the well, apparently the guy who runs Ireland's 32 show Monday nights, I don't even want to say his name, hit a woman the other night at a open mic, so he's being banned from everywhere in LA comedy right now. But I don't want to bore you outsiders. Earl live at OJ's house. I mean, yeah, but you guys get the picture, though. Um, maybe I could do it live from Tex Cobb's apartment in Abilene, Texas. Or I'll just probably do it in my living room at some point. I mean, we've filmed literally close to 50 hours now of documentary footage, so that's done. Um, excuse me. So now it's just time for the special, but it's going to be at a unique venue, or I won't do it. I have no interest in just putting out a special that gets 500 views on YouTube. Like anyone can do that. Um, Maybe I could do it at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Uh, Wait, Pierre Luc Dubois fought? Oh, I didn't see that, Staggy. Breaking news. Breaking news. Uh, Dubois? Nah, he would never fight. Is there another Dubois in the league? I don't know. No, no spoilers. I mean, I would love to do it at Tex. Imagine Tex Cobb bringing me up. No, I don't. You can definitely count on that not happening. Were you a blockbuster? Blockbuster. Um, I don't think I was ever a member at Hollywood Video. There was a Hollywood Video, I believe, in Westwood. There weren't a lot of them around. I mean, Blockbuster really had thanks to Wayne Huizenga. Oh, I thought you meant Pierre-Luc Dubois from hockey. I don't really watch heavyweight boxing anymore. I don't watch boxing at all. Ironically, who won? Who won the fight? Um, I know who Anthony Joshua is. I couldn't name any heavyweights. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and that Mexican dude Ruiz. He's like the Mexican Tex Cobb. He takes beatings like nobody's business. Um, I used to really be yeah, Tyson Fury. Oh wow, Dubois knocked him out. Is that on YouTube? Can I find it on YouTube somewhere? I'll stream snipe I won't stream snipe other people live right now, but maybe we could figure out how to do that. I don't know. I mean, you gotta figure in regards to Tex Cobb, he's gotta be 70 now. So he's probably and he's got CTE. I mean, holy fuck, man. You know that's a story I mean, he's lived longer than he probably should have. Because I know from friends of mine who knew him when he was kickboxing at the country club in Reseda that let's just say he liked the cocaina. It's too bad. I mean, his roast set of Larry Holmes is the best roast set I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he is in a room full of black people. And are we being am I being banned from YouTube? How do I do that? Well, let me see if I can hide user, add as moderator. Why don't I do that? Hide user on this channel. Okay. Oh, it's span. All right. Well, I think I just banned them. But let me see here. I don't know how to do that. Hold on. Oh man, he's back. He's back. Report. Do I report him? Let's see how that works. Uh, uh, I've never had this happen before. All right. Ban them again. All right. I think I just did, but put user in timeout. Report. But what channel are they spamming? It just says support at YouTube. Like, why are they like they get nothing from doing this? But welcome to the world of Earl. Nothing is simple in the Earlverse. This might be a good time to thank the cool people who have tipped me. Um, the fan funders, Queen on and Queen on. Thank you very much. We'll go to the live chat. Report does nothing. Okay. I don't know. He's a con man. Thank you for your payment. I didn't pay anybody, to be honest with you. Uh, let's see here. Let's do that. He's a con man. I don't know. Report does nothing. I don't know how to ban. They're just being a D bag. Uh, what up, Doom? What up, Doom? I'm dealing with Doom. I need your expertise here. How do I ban him? Here's the options: channel activity, go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, unhide user on this channel. It's not giving me the option to ban. Go to channel. Oh, remove. All right. Let's try that. It's a great way to spend a stream doing this shit. All right, well, sorry about that guy. Um, who cares anymore? Remove, remove. Close your mouth, Earl. I can't. Doom. I can't. I'm just trying to run a friendly stream here. You know, William Zoom, I'm going to make you a mod. Not that you want to do it. William Zoom is now a managing moderator. You don't have to do anything, William. That's how much I trust you. No, I know William, but I here's no, she comes in every now and then. I mean, I do stream on the DL, so um, but William is here, I think, for every stream. So I trust him. Um, that's why I want these streams to be fun. I so shit like that. It's just like, yeah. I mean, the only thing I don't like is the racism. Like when the one guy was doing the N-word tower. It's like, bro, come on, man. I'm doing this stream mostly for free. I never ask for money. I never ask. I do ask, hey, like the video or whatever. But Doom, I would almost have you as a moderator, but William Zoom is my number one. William Zoom and ACDC are my confidants. So, um, and I know that being a moderator pays absolutely nothing. So, you know, It's not that big of a deal to be a moderator for me, but I don't hate anyone. Well, a few people I hate, but we don't have to get into that. But William knows how I roll. You can say whatever you want in here for the racist shit. And well, there's one name. If you want to say it, you want me to say it, you have to pay for the privilege. Peter Chicken Man Brennan is a rogue operator. I would make him a moderator, but it makes sense because Kip Smith and Kip is in here a fair amount. Gina Bobina not as much, but she's also a moderator on like 7 other streams. So I'm low man on the totem pole. Don Coyote, you grenaded my heart, Doom. Doom, you're near and dear to me. The Chicken Man is a loose cannon, but I like his style. Um, you know, I just want to have fun with you guys. It's fun to talk to you guys for an hour about anything that's comedy related, wrestling. By now, if you're in this stream, all 17 of you, what I like to talk about in here and what you guys like to talk about in here. So do you know who Chicken Man Brennan is yet? No, and I don't want to. It would ruin the mystique. How do you think Vince McMahon feels these days? Tex Cobb graduated from Temple University a while back. So he's not a fucking dummy. But, I mean, he could probably get work as a character actor still, but, he might be hard to work with. I'm going to assume that's a good guess, but I don't believe Chicken Man is Dan Bilak, but he might be. Bilak is a internet provocateur, if you will. So, but I don't want to know. Because when someone told me who they were on the internet once, they were the fake Jan Michael Vincent account, which was one of the funniest fucking accounts. And then when they told me who it was, I'm like, it ruined it. Yeah, I mean, he strikes me as a Tex Cobb, as a guy who's probably tough to work with, probably late. I mean, he's smart, like you said. He did graduate from Temple University, which is a very good school. So, who knows? He's probably not very internet savvy. No, you're talking about Stand Up Batman. That is an account. I'm sure one of you internet sleuths, Doom. If actually, I don't want to find out who he is, but a lot of people thought Stand Up Batman on Twitter was me, but it is not. As you guys know, I'm a soldier, and I put my real name on shit. So, but I know if you're good with the internet, you can just look up Stand Up Batman's email and figure it out. Because with a Twitter account, you can't have like a phony email. From what I understand, you have to put your real email. There was a funny stand-up Robin who one of the first tweets they said was at Stand Up Batman, I'm here to help you fight crime. And then they kind of petered out. Are you heading back to the mothership soon? Probably not, to be honest with you. I mean, uh, although I was treated well, I could tell like I'm 50th in line in terms of people who can get up Joe's ass, and I'm treated so well at the Comedy Store, man, that I mean, I, I I would go back to the mothership if asked, and based on how I did there, there's no way I shouldn't have been asked back by now. But never say never. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to have fake emails and fake things. I don't know how to do that shit. My email is eskakel at AOL. It's my email for every Twitter, Facebook, every Instagram, TikTok. Um, and I'm at Earl Skakel um, for everything. So I'm very easy to follow. Adam Egret is a virulent anti-Semite, so it makes sense that no, he's Jewish. Adam's one of my best friends, to be honest with you, Staggy. So I've got to disagree with you there. He's the one who passed me at the Comedy Store, and he did not have to. I mean, there was a lot more people who were more famous than me who probably should have auditioned ahead of me based on their fame, but Adam gave me my first shot, so um, I gotta disagree with you there, Staggy. No, I'm not on Grinder. Boing. I was on Plenty of Fish. I did pretty well on Plenty of Fish. Trust me on that one. I did see Predator on opening night, and to show you I'm not a bullshitter, I saw it with my friend Armin from the Family Fitness Center where we both worked, and it was at the Avco Theater on a Friday night, opening night. The line was around the fucking block, and man, that was my love affair with Predator. That's where it all started. Because I really saw it because you guys know my sister was Carl Weathers' assistant at that time when Carl was represented by the Irv Schechter Agency and on Doheny Drive. Thank you very much. And she had told me one night, Carl's doing this movie. He's in the jungle with a Schwarzenegger and some pro wrestler guy, and they're chasing this invisible monster, and you don't see the monster till the end of the movie. And I was like, this movie sounds fucking horrible. And look how wrong I was. It's probably my favorite movie of all time. Have you ever had your profile hacked? My eBay account was hacked. I used to make some good money on eBay. I had like 500 sales or whatever you want to call it, mostly hockey jerseys and sports memorabilia. And then one day in the middle of shooting I'm Dying Up Here, I get an account notification that I bought 5 computers. And it wasn't like Apple. It was some shitty computer company. Um, and I got so fucking paranoid. I just um, canceled my eBay account, which sucked because I was a killer eBay guy. Um, but I just got so paranoid that every morning I'd wake up going, "Did I get hacked again?" I mean, it's pretty, and I got the money back and stuff. But the way eBay did it at the time, now it might be different because they're locked in with PayPal now, but at that time, like 20, what was that, 2017, 2018? It was like, hey, we're gonna give you your money back, but we have 6 months to decide if we want to give you your money back. We can take it back. And it's just like white knuckle. So people just reach out to me. I'm pretty well known in the game worn jersey community, so I have people reach out to me all the time. So, and it's a pain in the ass to do it individually. Obviously my preference would be to you talk about something that would finance a special, which I'm doing on my own. I'm not doing a GoFundMe or begging for fucking money from my fans, which most every comic is doing. I'm paying for myself. I'm betting on myself. Um, well, I loved it because eBay, I was like I had perfect feedback. I mean, I literally did not have one complaint, not even one like B plus. It was all A plus, A plus, A plus. I'd pay on time if I bought something, and if I sold something, it would be in the mail the next day, tracking number, all that shit. Um, you're close. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, back in the day, I would wear like 50. I at some point I would wear like 60 goalie cuts. It was wild. And then I would wear like 52. I'd like it super tight, and I'd cut the sleeves so I could have room in case I had to drop the gloves. But I'm semi-retired from hockey. We'll go into about another 5 minutes, kids. Hit the like button if you have not done so already. 56. I've worn. I've worn it really every size. I used to wear. I had an Eric Cairns. Now, usually you don't wear game worn jerseys because you ruin the value. but I wore a Eric Cairns jersey, game issued. So he never wore it. It was just made for him. It was, I think it said 60 goalie cut in it, but it was easily a 64 goalie cut. And I couldn't even play in it. It was just too baggy. Now, the biggest jersey I've ever had, game worn jersey I've ever had, no surprise here, was the Z-Man, not Chad Zumock, but Zdeno Chara. His first jersey, his first away jersey for the New York Islanders. You know, they never had a player his size in the league before, so the equipment manager had to really Frankenstein his jersey. Um, it was like 3 jerseys in one. And I'll never forget his sleeves on my, like, the sleeves on the jersey literally would go to the end of the can. Like they were like down to there. By the way, shout out to Frankie Loyal, actor, motorcycle enthusiast, actor from the Mayans, for his T-shirt he gave me recently. So, and you know, in terms of hockey sizes, and I'm sure the stream will really start dropping the numbers when I start talking about my glove size. I used to wear like a 15-inch glove, and then I went down to 14, and then 13, and then I got a pair of Martin Firk, who has the hardest shot, I believe, in NHL history. He played on the Kings, but more for their Ontario team. And I know the equipment guy down there, and he gave me a pair of Martin Firk's gloves. Martin Firk played in a size 13 glove, but he cut the cuff off. So it was probably close to an 11.5-inch glove. I mean, he was a wild card, Martin Firk, because he also played. Now, Zdeno Chara's stick flex, they say it was unmeasurable. It was so stiff. Excuse me. But they say it was around 150 flex. Now, a stiff flex is about 110. But Zdeno Chara is so strong, they say his stick flex was 150. And he had a very hard shot, well over 100 miles an hour. Martin Firk, I think he shot like 107. 75 flex, because he preferred the opposite. He didn't like a stiff shaft. Hello. He liked it. So when he hit the puck, like when Zdeno Chara hit the puck, his stick wouldn't move. It was so stiff. He hit it, and it would look like that. Now, when Martin Firk hit the puck, his stick flex would literally look like that. Like, and then as soon as he hit the puck, it would bend back. So everyone's different. Well, he had a faster shot than Brett Hull. Clearly, it wasn't better because, you know, he didn't really stick in the NHL, but he has the all-time hardest shot. I believe in the AHL All-Star game one year, he shot 105. Now, some of the hardest shooters in the NHL at that time were Chara, Shea Weber, a couple other guys. I don't know. I mean, I bought one of Zdeno Chara's sticks to play in. I was just fucking curious to see what it would be like to play with one of his sticks. And it was probably like I'm 6'1", 6'2". And I would say, you know, a typical stick would be about at eye level, the butt end. But Chara's stick was literally like that. I had to cut like 3 or 4 inches off so it would get back to that level. And it really all depends. Now, Chara's stick was made by Warrior, and I don't know. It felt different. Like it had like an octagonal shape to it. It wasn't just like a square shaft. It was like it was kind of like that, like almost a circular shape. Now the shorter the stick, they say, there's different schools of thought. The shorter the stick, they say the stiffer the flex is because there's nowhere for the give to go. But in a longer stick, there's more give. But with Chara's stick, which is he had a special exemption because of his height. Uh, his stick was 6 to 7 inches longer than any shaft I ever saw. Um, and it didn't move. Like I tried to break it once because I was so angry at something that happened in the game. And it literally was like a Three Stooges sketch. Like it hurt my hand, the vibration, it was so stiff. Um, and I'm sure there's I don't know, Fred. I know they were bought out by someone. I think Chara used warrior sticks. I'm trying to remember what stick Ferk used. I know Artur's Kaliev, I think he has a very hard shot. Poor kid can't catch a break. Um, I'm not sure. Let me see what I'll just look up on my phone here. Google a picture of a Kaliev stick here. I don't have a producer, guys, so I have to do this shit on my own. Kaliev stick. All right, there's actually a great site called Gear Geek. He uses a CCM Jet Speed FT5 Pro Stock. Let's see what Zdeno Chara used. Chara stick. Gear Geek. Okay, here. Chara's 155 flex. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. That's 155 flex. That's nuts. So Chara's stick flex is almost 100 more than Ferk's, and they both have incredibly hard shots. It is one of my favorite winter coats. Let me put it on for you guys. It's got a little bit of a Will Ospreay vibe. Yeah. It's probably my favorite jacket. There. Now you can't really see it, but it's green in color. And one of the reasons why I loved it and I know Zoom will appreciate this story, is there wasn't a cartoon. I guess it was a monster movie in the Godzilla mode, and it was called Battle of the Gargantuans. And basically, these two monsters were brothers, and one was a good brother, one was a bad brother. So the movie is the end finale is the good brother fighting the bad brother, and what that jacket reminded me of the movie. So I wore it last night. Probably wasn't necessary. I mean, it was cold last night, but it wasn't like freezing where you would want to wear a winter coat. So, but you know me, I'm a slave to fashion. So, what movie, Felix W? What movie? We're jumping around topics here. Uh, yes, I mean absolutely, and it was a movie that I forget how it ended, to be honest with you. But the good monster didn't want to fight his brother, and then the bad monster starts beating the shit out of it, and then the good brother starts fighting back, and It was just, it's really hokey. There's no special effects. You can tell it's clearly two dudes my size in monster outfits. But when you're a kid, you don't really fucking read into that. Yes, Battle of the Gargantuans. It's probably on YouTube for free. It's basically, when Godzilla and the King Kong movies were getting pumped out, I think there was probably hope that, hey, Battle of the Gargantuans will stick and there'll be sequels. But I believe there's only um, one movie, no sequels. So if you're bored and stoned one night, I would say it. I can imagine it would be a fun movie to watch stoned. Hooper, great movie. You've got Burt Reynolds, James Best, Jan Michael Vincent, maybe the end of the prime Jan Michael Vincent. You've got the bald guy who played the maniac in The Longest Yard. What is his name? Bob Tessier. Rest in peace. It really sucks from all the people whose movies I watched as kids. They're all dying. Chris Christopherson, John Ashton. So we're going to call it the Sunday night stream review of the Vince McMahon documentary. Thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to William Zoom. Sorry about the spam earlier. I still to this day don't know what that person got by spamming my stream. I just don't get it. But that's the internet. I don't really understand the internet. He's got to be pretty soon. I mean, Gene Hackman's 94, I think. Eastwood's born in 30, so he's about the same age. That's going to be a rough one when those two go. But hopefully they can live out their final years. But I mean, I don't even understand what attention they're getting. Not even using a real website. Like Support at YouTube is a phony site. So I could almost understand it if they were, were trying to plug their YouTube page. I still would be pissed, but I would get it. But I just don't understand. What did that person get out of that? I mean, at least the person who we banned for doing the N-word tower, at least he had his own channel. I still don't get that, but whatever. So I'll probably do a stream tomorrow night, recapping the Wonderland Murders documentary that's on MGM. Michael Connolly from Bosch. It's a very good job. I think tonight is really. They're going to throw it out there that the real murderer is still out there. Now, Scott Thorson, Liberace's lover, who seemed to be like a focus of this documentary, he recently died. So I don't know if we'll ever get closure on, who outside of Eddie Nash had involvement. Eddie Nash, Gregory Dials. Yeah, tonight's the last episode. It's episode 4. I believe it's on right now for me. Well, I guess it would be for the East Coast people too. I get the East Coast feed for DirecTV, so I get the feed. You guys, William, you get, and ACDC, who I believe is in Chicago. And thank you, William, for being a moderator. If you ever don't want to do it, just let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna watch. I mean, they have another show I want to watch, The Cocaine Hotel with Danny Pino, Michael Chiklis. I'm gonna maybe keep it for another month and then cancel it. There's that. But we'll do another stream tomorrow night. Earl Skakel in the house. We'll do it after yoga. So it'll be 8 p.m. my time. I know that's a little late for some of you kiddies. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the Earl Skakel YouTube channel. Like on Instagram. Whatever you guys can do. And thank you to Queen On very much for your financial contributions this evening. Unnecessary but welcome. This has been the Earlverse. I'm so anal and ADD. We're going to wait till the clock hits an hour and 10 minutes on the nose. I appreciate all the love and support of the Earlomaniacs. Get ready for the special. It's coming.